I told you I'm willing to lower my waterline a little bit today. I've never used this slide in a program, so this is like, and I didn't get my sister and my nephew's permission and my niece's permission. I'll worry about that later when I get a copy of the tape. But this is my sister and her kids. And this is 2 years ago when my nephew was 13 years old. And at 13, he was 6'2". So I just caught up with him over Christmas. He's now 15 and he's 6'5". I bought him a pair of Vans for Christmas, size 16. Try to find a pair of 16 Vans, you know, those cool shoes that they like. So he's heading toward being 6'6". That comes from my parents' side of my dad's side of the family. And one of the things that I know about him, from knowing him ever since he was a baby, is that when he became a preteen, I started to see these characteristics emerging in him, where he would volunteer to lead things at school. He's now 15 and he's running an Instagram company selling sportswear with these like skateboard things that he and his buddy have come up with. He told me at lunch the other day that his dream is to go out into the world and teach people how to be more optimistic. And he gave me examples about politics and things in our society. Everyone's so, polarized and negative. And I'm like, Sai, you're like an amazing kid. You're 15 years old and you already know you want to help change the world. Something that I have in my back pocket that I'm going to share with you is that it doesn't surprise me that a 6'5" teenager is already showing leadership characteristics. Because for 10 years, I've been sharing this data. Tall white guys earn more money than short white guys. I'll tell you why I'm calling out white guys, because it doesn't work for tall women. It doesn't work for tall men of color. Tall white guys are overwhelmingly CEOs in the United States. So there's a couple theories about that. Are we interviewing people for CEO and saying, he's tall, he should lead a company? No. Are we unconsciously going back to our caveman brain and saying, tall guy kills more food? I don't know, maybe we might be having a bias that we're projecting onto tall guys, that they would be better leaders of our company. The story I told you about my nephew, I think, is the reason. This is my theory. Teachers have given him, and other people in his life have given him chances to display leadership characteristics. He told me when he was 10, the teacher keeps asking me to lead the Pledge of Allegiance. The teacher keeps asking me if I'll go do the announcements down. I think his teachers were deferring to him because he was the tallest in his class. So because of that bias toward tall boys, what happens to him, right? He gets to learn how to be a leader, and he gets to grow up and potentially, I don't know if he wants to be CEO, but he may end up earning more money, almost $800 per foot a tall guy makes over a shorter guy. So I started with an example about bias that we don't even know we have, that we might be deferring to taller guys versus shorter guys. Do you think we have some baked-in stuff in our brain about other topics of diversity, about gender, race, physical size, weight? Of course we do. We're human beings. We've been taught that stuff. That's the purpose of our work at Southern Company and everywhere else, to help people understand more about that, because when you understand it, you can manage it. If it's unconscious, that means it's invisible. We'll talk about the definition in a minute. You can't manage it because it's not even in your awareness.